Hello there, I'm Lara and welcome to my YouTube channel, Sewing Up Style. In today's video, I'm going to talk about two new makes from two new patterns. So I have a pattern problem, everybody knows that. And so I have recently picked up two new patterns. I picked up more than two, but I actually made them into makes. I wanted to share that with you because you might want to make them up too. So the first pattern I'll talk about is McCall's 8459. It is a men's pattern because I made this for my son, my youngest son, Blake. I've been promising him for over a year a new dinosaur shirt, and I had gotten some fabric from Joann's that it's very pretty with dinosaurs on it, and we decided that, well, he decided that he wanted to have this shirt made up, and I think this was released in maybe spring of this year. And let me show you, the one that we chose was just this one right here. I don't have the shirt to show you or hold it up. I think he might actually be wearing it. I went to his room, I looked through his closet, I looked through all the other piles of clothes. I can't find it, but I do have some pictures, so stay tuned for the pictures. I can tell you this was a decent pattern to sew up. I had problems with the collars of both of these, and so that makes me think that it was a me problem, not a pattern problem. There's quite a few pieces to cut out because of the contrasting fabric, and what I did I had bought the dinosaur fabric to go here, and then I bought black fabric to go here. I've had the dinosaur fabric for, I think, at least over a year, because I bought it at my Joann's, which closed last June 2023. So at least a year, probably a year and a half at least. And then I also bought some black, just some black cotton, because they're both cotton fabrics, from Joann's to act as the contrast fabric. I did not buy it with this in mind because this is a recent release, but I did not have enough to do the kind of shirt that he would like with just the dinosaur fabric, and I couldn't find more of that particular fabric anywhere. So I thought to myself already, I had decided to buy that black cotton, and then I could do my own mix match of color blocking. I was like, maybe I'll put black on the sleeves, or maybe I could do it black on the back and have the pattern be on the front. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I just knew that I didn't have enough fabric. So I already had it. So when this pattern came out and I showed my Blake, he was all for it. Because I had been promising him and I had been making my other son some things, I was like, and I really want to sew down my stash, even though I keep buying fabric. I was like, let's do this. So so that's what I did. Anyway, I digress. This is very long, and so I ended up taking a couple of inches off the bottom. I know in other videos I have told you kind of like the process that you go through to sew things up, but this was so kind of convoluted. It wasn't hard, you know, I mean, it was step by step by step, but it's just, there's a lot to it. The contrasting fabric is both the underside and the overside of the buttons. The button placket is not a placket, it's just a facing. You fold it over and then fold it and then fold it again. It's one of those kinds of fronts. And then, so it's black here and it's black here, and so the whole center front, you end up with, like, if it was from my knuckles to my knuckles, that's how it is. And then the buttons would go down, you know, like the center of that black section. And then you have the rest of the shirt is the patterned fabric, and then you put the black or the contrasting fabric around the bottom. I put the contrasting fabric, you do the contrasting fabric out of the collar as well. This collar was tricky. I don't know why. I've done collars before, and it just, for some reason, it was not quite laying right, and I must have put the trauma aside, like blocked it from my memory, because I really can't remember what happened. I just remember that it was tricky, and I spent 2 to 3 hours like trying to get it right. So it eventually ended up okay. I think one side is still a little on the wonky side, but it's not visible. And when I put up the pictures, you know, I'll try to, well, you know what, I'll just put in a picture here of a close-up of the collar. Otherwise, it's not terribly remarkable to sew. It just kind of went together quickly. I serged the insides. Well, I serged each piece so that it would, you know, not fray because it is cotton. And then I've started sewing partially on my serger and partially on my machine. Okay, I digress. I apologize. I've been a little tired lately. But Blake really loved his shirt. He wore it the exact next day. I was happy that it got used right away, and he has used it since. So yay for me, it was a win. And then my shirt. My shirt is Simplicity 9952. So there is a story behind how I got this pattern. It released, last month? And I really wanted it, and you guys know that I cannot go to Lincoln all the time. And so Grace from So Lovely with Grace nicely, kindly went and checked for me for this pattern, and her store didn't have it. And then I ended up actually going to Omaha. I've been doing a lot of driving lately. That's going to continue through next week. But anyway, I went to Omaha. Their stores didn't have it. So I was like, oh my gosh, I was so disappointed because I really wanted to make this one up for summer. And I ended up going to Colorado 2 weekends ago, and they had it. Actually, it was the one in Cheyenne, because I stayed at my parents' house in Cheyenne, and my dad's house actually. But so we went into Cheyenne, and I told Blake, because we went. It was for him. The trip was for him. We had to get a saxophone. His saxophone is breaking. So we went, and I told him we got to go to Joann's. I got to see if the pattern's there, and it was there. So yay! I got the pattern. Eventually, I would like to make this with the sleeves, but I chose to make this view. And I don't know if any of that's going to get cut. So view A, short sleeves, grown on, collar, very boxy, very loose, and very cute. So I had this fabric. It's Cat's. It is so cute, and I have had this fabric for probably 1.5 to 2 years as well. Bought from Joann's in their quilting cotton section. I had problems with this collar too. It's even. I mean, like, if you take it, it's even. But there was something about in here around the collar stand, and I've done collar stands before, and the way I fixed it, you can see this side, it was much more flush just with the side of the button placket. This one was just weird. So I ended up turning it right, figuring out that it was not working, ripping it out, turning it back the other way, and then sewing closer to it. And I just backed it up until it fit properly like the other side. And it hangs okay. This front though, I mean, like the button, there's supposed to be a button on this, but there was no way a button was going to go on that, and it was laying funky and it looked weird. So I just basically cut it off, and so the first button is right here, which is okay because with this oversized collar, which I adore, is so pretty, you don't see it anyway. So I just plan on leaving this top button open, and then it just lays nice and flat, and it is very cute. So let me put in some videos so you can see what it looks like on me. So I believe that there are like 3 or 4 pieces. It is super simple. I also wanted to make the longer version, the tunic version, but I did not have enough fabric, so I went with the shorter version, and it is okay. I think it looks maybe even better probably in the shorter version. Shirt A, which is what I made, there is 3 pieces. You've got the front, the back, and then the collar and the collar stands. No, collar and collar stand. Is that how that works? 3. What is 3? Neckband. Collar. Okay, so this is the collar. This is, they call it the neckband. It's the collar stand, and then there's the, so 1, 2, 4 pieces total. And sides, button placket, buttons, collar stand, collar. Well, you attach the collar to the collar stand first, and then you attach it all to the shirt. And this, I think, maybe, well, if I wouldn't have had the problems with the collar, maybe a day, you know, like sewing from like an 8-hour day, so a couple of evenings maybe. The collar, it was the collar. I don't know what was wrong with me in the collars. Okay, well, I have not worn mine yet, but I fully plan to, maybe even tomorrow, to work, and then, yeah. What do you guys think? When you saw this pattern, sorry, sorry. When you saw this pattern, what did you think of it? Did you think the sleeves were too big? Or were you thinking the whole oversized thing was just too weird? Or, I don't know. I kind of was like, that is so unique, I want it. But then I was like, I don't know if that's gonna look good on me. And I am actually pleased with how it looks. I mean, I think I would definitely keep to a drapier fabric. This is out of a linen. You can tell she's made it out of a linen. Well, she didn't, but you know, they made it out of a linen. And I think it might have too much structure for me. But out of a cotton, like a light cotton, they say batiks, chambray, cotton blends, gauze, lightweight denim even, linen blends, poplins, and shirtings, and twill. So it is supposed to be structured, obviously. I don't know, maybe I will make it out of a more structured fabric and see what it looks like. Or have you made it out of a more structured fabric? And do you like that? Did you like your version? How did that work out for you? Do tell, let us know in the comments, and then we can all kind of hear a different perspective on this shirt. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to stop now. It's late. I am tired. I am filming this actually like last week when I did my other video. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming, watching, subscribing, and I hope to see you soon. We've got lots of fun videos coming up the rest of June. We've got a Discovering Denim the last weekend in June, I think. And I've got another idea for next week. So please come back, and we will just see you in the next video. Bye.